Greetings, I am Nero and welcome to Game Summaries. This time we're talking about Hotline Miami, which is a top-down shooter developed by Dennaton games. It was published by Devolver Digital. It's been released for the PC in 2012, for the Sony PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita in 2013, and for the PlayStation 4 in 2014. Hotline Miami takes place in Miami in 1989. You play as a guy who gets phone calls, where you're asked to apparently murder a lot of Russian gangsters. The game's story is quite abstract and leaves some room for speculation what is actually happening. I played it on Vita and PC and got different impressions over its events on different playthroughs. The presentation is really well crafted into a story that you can partially write yourself. The game is played from a top-down perspective. It's split into missions, with each mission starting with a phone call to answer. After you get your info, you go to your car and automatically transport into the mission locale. Generally some kind of a large house where you have to kill everything. On the PC you can control your character with the keyboard and mouse. You can use the mouse to turn and aim, and it's very handy and easy. On the console versions you have to use the stick and it's not quite as convenient, but it does get the job done. You can punch, but there's also weapons to pick up, either guns or some melee weapons like bats, knives, swords and what have you. With melee weapons you either have to get in close range or throw it. Some weapons kill enemies instantly, sometimes it only knocks them down and you have to finish them off before they get back up. This leads into risk situation where it's not ideal to alert many enemies at once unless you can hit them all at once. The upside of the melee weapons is that they cause no noise. Melee weapons do lack range, but you can throw the weapon as I mentioned before. That will leave you obviously unarmed, unless you have a weapon nearby that you can pick up. Guns on the other hand can be used to kill enemies from range, but they have limited ammo and they make so much noise they alert enemies to your presence. If you control your space right, you can quite easily hide after shooting though. You can also smack a door in the face of the enemies to knock them down. There is some randomness involved, as every time the game loads a floor you're supposed to clear, it spawns random weapons around the floor. However, with the amount of tactical freedom you have, it isn't a problem as you can solve almost any situation with almost any tools. But what's the big deal with alerting enemies then? They can kill you just as easily as you can kill them, so it's much harder to fight them with pure reflexes, and you'd rather surprise them so that they can't hit you back. If you do die, you will have to start the floor all over from the beginning. But there's another feature, which is the masks. You unlock masks as you gain more points from missions, and each mask comes with their own special property, like making door kicks lethal or making guns silent. The mask effects are outright broken at times, so I actually recommend that you play with the basic rooster mask to make the game more challenging, or use the owl mask since you can see secrets with it. After each mission you are assigned points and a rank based on your performance. Points unlock your new mask as mentioned before, and also new weapons for you to find in missions. The mechanics with different weapons make the gameplay very emergent. You can plan your approach as you like and there's many ways to solve each combat situation. Learning tactics, divide conquer and so on. The gameplay is great and the variety of approaches, the point system and also secrets hidden in each mission make the game worth replaying many times despite its short length. The aforementioned story giving new impressions as you read it differently as it is too. The game has impactful sound effects, it adds a good oomph to the gameplay. There's music from a variety of artists. It fits the game and you will probably put it on your mixtape to listen while driving in the light of the evening sun too, I bet. The game's graphics are sprite based. Sometimes I'm having difficulties figuring out if my enemies are dead when smacking many of them in a pile with a baseball bat. But otherwise it's pretty easy to make things out and it looks pretty nice to boot. There's a funky neon colored wave changing color in the background constantly, and it adds a surreal atmosphere to the game, and that fits well with the way the story is presented. It's also very bloody, sometimes to an unsettling degree, but in a good way in that it also adds to the narrative. This game is definitely worth your time as a solid gameplay and a unique story and aesthetic experience. Give it a shot, it doesn't cost much either. As I mentioned before, it controls a bit better on the PC because of the mouse, but it's not bad on consoles either, and the Vita version is certainly something worth picking up if you want to play it on the go. It's even released physically for the Vita in Asia with English text included. As far as I know, the PlayStation versions also include one extra mission, which was a playable demo in the EG for the PlayStation versions. At least the PlayStation Vita version had it. All that said, have fun with Hotline Miami. Thanks for watching and see you again.